For Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside is blazing bright, we're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
So Miles playing this song gives me an opportunity to tell you right quick about Naen McKenna. For those who listen to this program and have for years, you know that every Christmas we have Naen McKenna on this program to talk about this song. It ain't Christmas for me until I hear this Christmas. And when you think about it, of all the songs written in the history of Black America, this is the one holiday anthem that tops all the others. There's nothing else that compares to this. When it comes to anthem for any particular holiday, lift up your voice and sing, of course, the Black National Anthem. But for holidays, this is our anthem. Donny Hathaway. I don't have time now. I've got the chair of the CBC standing by to tell you the whole story about how this song came to be. As Naen McKenna was working in the post office in Chicago and wrote this song and got it to Donny Hathaway. There's a long backstory to it, but Naen McKenna has been battling some health issues, and she just recently had another setback, another small stroke. She's still fighting and rebounding, and I think getting better. I'm going to go see her this week. She's here recovering in Southern California, so I'll go see her this week. But I just posted something on all of my platforms the other day asking you to consider supporting Naen McKenna. We're raising money to help her with all these medical expenses. It's the least we can do for this amazing anthem that she wrote for us, that Donny Hathaway just killed over 54 years ago now. This song came out, was not an immediate hit, but it grew. And now everybody and their mama has covered this song. Turn it up, Miles.
Very special Christmas for me, yeah.
So go to any of my platforms and you will see the post asking you to join me in helping Naen McKenna with all these health expenses. As you well know, again, as we speak to the chair of the CBC, the thing that bankrupts most Americans, healthcare expenses. And so I'm supporting Naen, as are many others, and I invite you to join us again in supporting Naen McKenna, the writer, the composer of this brilliant song this Christmas. We are in the second hour of this program. As promised, two conversations in this hour. On the B side, a brief chat with the White House director of Black Media, Roderica Applewhite. Joe Biden, as we said earlier, is in Angola right now. Likely his last trip abroad as president, his first visit to sub-Saharan Africa. And we'll talk to Roderica on the back side of this hour. We commenced this hour, as promised, in conversation with the presumptive new chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, New York Congresswoman Ivette Clark, Ivette D. Clark, will lead the CBC's largest membership ever, about 62 members. I'm delighted to have her on this program. Madam Chair, how are you today?
Well, thank you so much, Tavis. It's great to be with you, and I'm doing well.
It's
you
good.
Sound well yourself.
If I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I'm doing well and delighted to have you on. Let me just ask you this question, not to put you on the spot, but you can handle it. You are an elected official and chair of the CBC. We were just talking about this in our first hour because everybody else is talking about it. Indeed, Corinne Jean-Pierre was asked about it on Air Force One on the way to Angola with the president. This notion of him pardoning his son, Hunter. I want to just ask two questions right quick. Has the CBC taken a position on whether the president did the right thing here? If so, I'm unaware of it. I'd like to know the answer to that, number one. And number two, given that he, again, has pardoned his son Hunter, are there any efforts inside the CBC to press the president to pardon more African Americans who have earned it and deserve it?
Well, first of all, let me say that we're just going back into session this week, starting this evening. And so I'm sure we'll be having those conversations as well. Sure. I know that individual members of the CBC have expressed their positions. And I myself believe that the president has done the right thing. I think that certainly, it's one of those conundrums. Do you go with your head or do you go with your heart? And I think that we're all entitled as human beings to change our minds. And that's not to say that we're habitual liars, but it's to say that this is a personal concern of our president. And while he seemed a bit emphatic when asked by reporters previously, I'm sure as we enter into this holiday season, the specter of his son being prosecuted with a new president in place who has expressed that he wants retribution from his enemies, on his enemies, it was only a human response. And I'm so proud that he has put his family first, which is something that I think all humans of goodwill can appreciate.
No, I can certainly relate to that. No question about that part, putting family first. I get it. I get it when looking at it through that particular prism. I totally get it. Let me just say this, because I said it in the first hour, and it's not often that we get a chance to talk to the chair of the CBC. So when you get her ear, you take advantage of it, right? I hope that when the CBC meets this evening or in the coming days, that the CBC will ask the president to step up his pardon game. We're having a conversation tomorrow in the first hour of this program about the ways in which the president can, in fact, do that. But as you well know, you're the chair. I don't need to tell you any of this. There's so many African Americans, including, I'm thinking of Jesse Jackson Jr., who was once a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, who has served his time, paid his debt to society. And Jesse is but one example. But there are so many others who I think are deserving of a pardon, deserving of clemency. Donald Trump has promised to let everybody out who was engaged in January the 6th. Clearly, President Joe Biden, on his way out, can step up his pardon game for people who look like you and me, who have earned this pardon, have earned the right to clemency. I digress on that. I just hope the CBC will take that up and press the president on that in his remaining days. When we come forward, a great deal more to talk to the chair of the CBC about what their agenda is going to be, how they're going to navigate the Trump era. A lot to talk about with U.S. Representative Ivette D. Clark, who I'm honored to have right now on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas. gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SNAP to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SNAP for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, Youth Representative Ivette Clark, who is the presumptive Congressional Black Caucus chair. I say presumptive because nobody's running against her. So she is the new chair of the CBC, but until that's official, we call her presumptive. That said, I'm honored to have her on this program. Madam Chair, let me just ask you this for starters. I mentioned a moment ago, I think the number is 62. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I've been at this a long time as a broadcaster, as you know, and it's been fascinating for me over the years to watch this number increase slowly, go up. 62 is a respectable number. That's a lot of that's a lot of members. How do you read that?
Yes, it's actually marking the largest number of black federal lawmakers in U.S. history.
Yes.
And, to have 58 members in the House of Representatives and four four senators, two of whom are new, two are black women, is historic all the way around. And so we are blessed by this nation to have members coming from all geographic regions of the United States. Many of our colleagues are representing majority districts. They're not the historic Congressional Black Caucus of yore that represented majority black districts. And so we are coming with a lot of different perspectives, all united by our understanding of the lived experiences of people of African descent in the United States of America, and prepared to stand up, to fight, to propose legislation, to move legislation that benefits Black America.
Yep. Let me just pause for a second because this is a really, really, really big deal, as I'm sure you agree. These two sisters, new in the United States Senate. All of our hearts were made glad. We were disappointed, of course, with the results on election night, but who among us did not have a huge smile on their face, joy in their heart, and hope in their soul when they saw these two sisters make their way to the United States Senate? You are their chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. They are your members. But just say a word about the historic nature of these two black women being in the United States Senate.
Absolutely. This is the first time in the history of the United States that two black women have served simultaneously, both of whom are coming from states that have overwhelmingly elected them, and coming with very unique lived experiences that will inform how legislation is shaped in the United States Senate, that will speak to the American people writ large, just by the fact and the virtue that the state of Delaware and the state of Maryland have elected these women to serve. I had the honor and privilege of serving with Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware, and I can tell you she is a bad sister, very on point. She understands the issue. She is a leader in looking at technology and its impact on our society, on black communities in particular. And so I'm looking forward to them bringing their talents to the table, to working with us in the House as part of the Congressional Black Caucus to stand up a robust agenda that includes calling out and being vigilant around Project 2025 that advances the issues, concerns, and causes of the Black community across this nation.
Yep. If one didn't already know, one hears your accent and one knows that you are from New York, and so
they say that all the time.
Yeah.
I what can I tell you?
I love it. I love it, though.
Brooklyn to the end.
I love it. I love Brooklyn. I love the accent. I only raised that because many of us were hoping that your brother from New York, Hakeem Jeffries, would in fact be the Speaker of the House. I'm sure you're as disappointed as all the rest of us that didn't happen.
I am. We are in striking distance. This is a very small majority for the Republican Party here in the House of Representatives, and I know that Leader Jeffries is prepared to do the work to lead us into the majority. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. And when I look at what we were able to accomplish in the political climate that we are in, it speaks volumes to his leadership. And it speaks volumes to his strategic thinking because we were able to, it looks like, amass 215 seats in a 218 majority body. And so, as you can tell, the Democrats are united, and he has really united us. Yeah. He is a generation builder. When I say that, he's from the younger generation. He's the bridge between our younger members and our more seasoned veterans, and has been able to really navigate us through some very challenging political currents.
Yep. So you made the point earlier, and we all know this, that Republicans have a narrow majority in the House. So give me a sense, 62 members strong is the CBC. What does, for the next 4 years, resistance look like? What's it look like?
Well, it first of all, it looks like, all of us agreeing and understanding that this was a very rough election, and understanding that there's a lot that needs to be done around education, around touching ground in Black communities where perhaps they haven't seen members of Congress. There aren't conversations being had about what Project 2025 really looks like in terms of implementation and how it will impact their lives. It means that we've got to do a lot more in terms of speaking to the youth of the Black community, because indeed they are, the ones who will inherit, the challenges that we are facing as Black people in the United States, and the victories that we, that we amassed over that time. And so I think that there's an energy that comes from this election. It comes from something that I think Vice President Kamala Harris made very plain to the American people in her concession speech and throughout her campaign, and it's about freedom. And I think that our people have to understand that, liberation is never free. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication to maintain freedom in a democracy. And that's what we're up against. And I think that we've got the wherewithal to make it real, make it plain, and get this victory.
Let me ask you this question. This might sound strange, but let me just lay it out here. I'm curious as to whether or not there are any issues on the CBC's docket that you believe that Republicans can support. Put another way, are there any issues on the CBC's docket, any issues that you think Donald Trump as president can align himself with? And I ask that Not to be funny, I'm serious. I'm asking in part because we heard all this talk, as you well know, during the campaign, reaching out to black voters, specifically black men, became a huge subject, a huge topic in this campaign. So is there anything on the CBC's agenda that you believe, as chair of the CBC, that Republicans can get with? Anything on the CBC docket that you think the CBC can convince Donald Trump to be in alignment with?
I think that our leader, Hakeem Jeffries, will dictate what that actually looks like.
Okay.
And when I say that, I mean that there are negotiations that have to happen in order to advance any budget, any appropriations. And in those negotiations, we look to those the four corners, as they call them, to negotiate the needs of the American people. For the CBC, one of those issues would be the child tax credit. We know that this is a piece of appropriation that was allowed to be phased out. However, we know that there are a lot of members on the other side of the aisle who are enamored with it and understand the implications of providing a child tax credit and are favorable to it. What it looks like in terms of some of the other things that they'd like to appropriate in negotiation will ultimately determine whether we get the victory or not. I can't say what Donald Trump would be in favor of because he's constantly misrepresenting his true wishes. One day he's for it, the next day he's against it. However, we will certainly be putting our agenda forward, and when there is a meeting of the minds, we will seize that moment.
As you know,
we'll seize that moment.
As you know, Madam Chair, he keeps bragging about the fact that he's the best president that Black America has ever had. And if in fact he believes that, it would just seem to me there ought to be something on the CBC docket that he ought to align himself with. Again, if he believes that he's the best president we've ever had, there ought to be something that y'all can convince him to get behind. I digress on that for now. Just watching my time. Just got about 3 minutes left here.
Hope springs eternal, my brother.
Yeah.
Hope springs eternal.
No, I get it. No naivete here. I hear you loud and clear. I got 3 minutes left, and I want to cover one last issue with you. And this is a quote from Representative Ivette Clark, our guest right now, the presumptive chair of the CBC. There is no doubt in my mind that there will be immigrants of African descent that are in the crosshairs of what he, Donald Trump, is planning on doing, close quote. So my sense is, as I hear your quote, as I read your quote, that you have concerns about Trump's mass deportation promises and the ways in which that will be an affront, specifically not just to brown folk, but to black folk as well.
Absolutely. Where I represent in Brooklyn, New York, it's a virtual UN.
Sure. And
so we have a lot of what I call blended families. And, we actually saw ICE patrolling our communities in the last Trump administration. So I'm eyes wide open on what happens and how communities can be invaded. And so, I am very focused on the fact that there are people of African descent who are residents of the United States, who are undocumented in the United States, who are American citizens. And the disruption to our communities, our families, our lives will reverberate for generations if we don't understand that we have skin in this game, literally. And that, while our history dictates that there were a group of kidnapped Africans brought to the United States against their will under horrific conditions, and that their descendants have become American over several generations, it is immigration that has built this country.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be very clear-eyed on the human rights violations, on the way that racism intersects with home of origin and how that plays out in our communities.
I close on this note. The president, as you well know, is in Angola, as I mentioned. He is likely on his last trip overseas as president, and how fitting it is that his last trip took him to sub-Saharan Africa. I think there's a statement in there somewhere. But I raise that only because I'm sure you are pleased that the president chose to make this trip to Angola, and I'm curious as to what we can expect from the CBC under your leadership with regard to the continent of Africa.
Yes, we are very focused with several members who serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee. As a matter of fact, the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee is a CBC member, Congressman Gregory Meeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have a very robust agenda.
New York.
New York as well. New York as well.
Yeah.
And, we will have a very robust agenda around the continent of Africa, the atrocities that continue to plague that nation, and what we can do to get behind foreign policy that continues to liberate people, that lifts those villages and those cities, those towns in which abuse is running rampant, particularly where we know rare earth and rare minerals are located. There always seems to be this plague of exploitation that puts their very lives on the line. And as we close, brother, I wanted to just say that we are also very focused on the island nation of Haiti.
Sure, indeed.
Which is closer to shore.
Absolutely.
And is, descending into a very chaotic and anarchistic environment that is also another humanitarian crisis that we have to deal with.
You've got your hands full. She is the incoming chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. She is U.S. Representative Ivette D. Clark out of Brooklyn, New York. Madam Chair, good to have you on. Look forward to doing it again a few times during the course of your tenure.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me, and many blessings for the holidays.
Same to you. Good to have you on this program. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The U.S. is sending a $725 million weapons package to Ukraine, including missiles, ammo, and anti-personnel mines, according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. This comes as Russia targets Ukraine's energy grid and captures villages in the east. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating a Cybertruck crash in Piedmont, California, that killed 3 college students. The crash happened last Wednesday when the vehicle veered off the road. UNICEF's Light the World Giving machines in Times Square let people donate to various causes, offering items like winter boots, children's books, and polio vaccines. Gifts range from $5 to $3,500, with all proceeds going to chosen charities. And rapper Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, has passed away following a battle with cancer. TMZ reports she died last night at a hospital in St. Joseph, Missouri. She was 69 years old. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
It's Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale. Get matched with your perfect bed and save up to $700 on a wide selection of quality mattresses. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. See store for details.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
21 games into the NBA season, is it possible that Father Time is tapping LeBron James on his shoulder? Over the past 4 games, LeBron looks like a player approaching his 40th birthday. LeBron, who turns 40 on December 30th, made only 4 of 16 shots Monday night in the Lakers' 29-point blowout loss at Minnesota. It's the 6th straight game LeBron has shot below 45%. He finished with a season-low 10 points. This is LeBron's worst shooting stretch since 2004. He also has missed 19 straight three-pointers. LeBron has played in all 21 games this season. He looks like he could use a night off. The Lakers, 2-5 in their last 7 games, are in Miami on Wednesday. It's doubtful LeBron will sit out that game, but sometime soon, Lakers coach J.J. Redick needs to give LeBron a game to regroup. Father Time seems to be showing up at Lakers games a little more than usual this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Roderica Applewhite, who is the White House Director of Black Media. As I've mentioned a few times already in today's program, the president, as we all know, is in Angola. Likely his last trip abroad, and how appropriate is that? He wouldn't have been president had it not been for black people. And he ends his presidency with his last trip abroad in Africa. I like that frame. Roderica, good to have you on the program. How are you today?
I'm good, Tavis. How are you?
If I complained, I've been in great. I'm doing well. I want to get to the Angola thing and a few other things in the few minutes that we have here. But let me just start with this. You're on your way out the door with the president. But how does one get the job? How does one become the White House Director of Black Media?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been involved in campaigns for quite some time, Democratic politics, of course, and just kind of ended up here after about a decade in working on the comms team to work with amazing Black outlets like yours.
Yeah, and tell me more. Thank you. That's sweet of you. I appreciate that. Tell me more about what the job entails.
Yeah, so it's my job to work with outlets that are either owned by Black Americans or target Black readers. So it's really just my job to be their first stop at the White House to make sure they're getting connected to the resources they need, the news about what we're doing in the Biden-Harris administration to support Black Americans, and just make sure that they always have access to the work we're doing here.
Yep. As you well know, Black folk are not a monolith, and that's a good thing. But I am curious, though, as to how you read over the 4 years the way the Black media has treated the president. And if I ask that question of Corinne Jean-Pierre or others in the White House about how they think the mainstream media has treated the president, I may get a different answer. I do not know. I haven't had a chance to ask that question yet. But I am curious as to how you think the Black media has treated or not treated the president over these 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Black media has been very important for keeping us honest in the Biden-Harris administration, making sure that what we're doing is actually benefiting the community, really taking us to task and ensuring that what the work that goes out of these buildings and the policies that we're enacting is actually impacting the community in a way that is intentional and yields results. So I think it's been really important, our partnership that we've had with Black outlets across the country to make sure that they're being able to spread the word in a way that's authentic to their community.
Yep. I've said many times, and this audience knows it, and for that matter, anybody who's followed my career knows that I've always maintain this, and that is that the Black media is more necessary and more relevant now for a variety of reasons. Say nothing of us being, say nothing of going into the Trump era. That's a whole other conversation that we don't need to have right now. But we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's for the next 4 years, no question about it. But the Black media is more necessary and more relevant now, as I say all the time, because there's some questions that don't get asked if we don't ask them. Some issues that don't get raised if we don't raise them. And frankly, people doing great work like yourself who don't get profiled if we don't step up and profile them and let them know these people exist. So my view is that the Black media is more relevant and more necessary now than ever before. As I said a moment ago, say nothing of the role we have to play speaking truth to power and to the powerless over the next 4 years, to be sure. But that's my read. What's your read of the importance of Black media in this particular moment of American history?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think authenticity is something that's in short supply as far as consumers of news feel. And so I think it's really important, the role that Black media plays to not only reach the Black community, but also reach them in a language that feels authentic and understandable. And so being able to work with reporters that are not only targeting these communities, but a part of the community themselves really aids in the storytelling and the way that we're able to talk about what we're doing here at the White House.
Yep. What has the how would you grade yourself? Here's an interesting question, I think. How would you grade yourself and your team on the access that Black media have had directly to the president in these 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely proud of my team and the work that we've done to make sure that we're being as accessible as possible to the Black community, working with national outlets, national radio in particular, to work to have the president on and do interviews, to talk about, from his own words, the work that he's done in his administration to accomplish the goals that he set out in his agenda back in 2021 and throughout his campaign as well. And so we've been really proud of the work that we've been able to do. I've been personally proud of the way that I've been able to bring Black outlets into the Oval Office to be able to observe some of the historic work that President Biden has been doing to acknowledge Black history acknowledge, how it's intertwined with slavery, and still it has an impact today. And so I'm really proud of the work that I've been able to do to make sure that we can continue to tell that story, and, leading into the president's commitment to upholding American history, which is Black history.
Yep. Talk to me about being the White House Director of Black Media as you sort of look back on your tenure and start the process of post-mortem about what it meant to have the opportunity to be in this very important role. Give me some sense of what it's been like to be the White House Director of Black Media while there was a Black woman serving as Vice President.
Yeah, it's been really an iconic moment, and something that I'm so humbled to be a part of, and also have, the work with Karine Jean-Pierre, our White House press secretary, but also the first Black woman to do that. So it's been very humbling to be in the presence of such iconic giants, and I was only here for a year, but I wish I had more time.
Yeah. Corinne is I regard Corinne as I think I can call her a friend. She's been certainly a friend of this program and has been on here before. But since you went there, and I want to go there anyway, just give me a sense of what it's been like to serve specifically with her. It is a big deal when the person that the world sees every day, and I do mean the entire world, the person they see every day speaking on behalf of our president happens to be a Black woman, and then there's another Black woman serving as vice president and another Black woman serving as the White House Director of Black Media. That's the trifecta, if ever there was one. But just say a word about historically how you think Corinne is going to be regarded, being the first Black person, a Black woman in this particular role, this very important role.
Yeah, I mean, something that I think all Black women can relate to, and Black people in general, is that feeling that all eyes are on you, and as my mom would always say, don't embarrass me in there. It's very much that entire pressure of the entire community, and every single person in our industry and everyone around the world looks up to Corinne, and the way that she's been able to handle the role with such poise, put her own spin on it, really just be such an icon and such a leader, and just leading by acting. And so it's an honor to know her. It's an honor to have worked with her, to put her in front of so many Black outlets. But I'll never light a candle to her. So it's just an honor to be in her presence.
Yeah. Well, Derica Applewhite is the White House Director of Black Media. When we come forward in our dialogue with her, we'll talk about the president's trip to Angola. He's on that 3-day trip even as we speak. You're listening, and I'm glad about it, to Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
I was so excited when I heard the sandwich was back. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken. It's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy fillet now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Freedom is an endless meeting, so let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Roderica Applewhite, who is the White House Director of Black Media. I had the honor earlier in my career, I've done this a few times, but this one comes to mind. Bill Clinton as president. As I recall, we did 6 African countries. On one trip, we did 6. And I was invited to join the president on that particular trip, and will never forget it because it was an amazing opportunity to go to all these countries in one swoop, to do so with the president, because there ain't no reception like the president of the United States. So to go on your own is a beautiful thing, and I've done that. I think I've been to, 16 African countries now. But 6 of them I knocked out in one fell swoop, hanging out with Bill Clinton as he moved around. And during that trip, this is back during my BET days. During that trip, we sat down in Joburg. It was in Johannesburg that the president and I sat down for a conversation that broadcast live to the nation from South Africa. So we spent about 40 minutes on air, as I recall, live from South Africa. So, again, a moment I'll never forget, traveling with the president in Africa and being able to sit down and interview him and have that broadcast live back to the country, a big deal, an humbling moment for me. So I know what it means to be with the president when he's on African soil. And so we heard Corinne Jean-Pierre on tape earlier in today's program aboard Air Force One, talking about the president's pardon as they were on their way to Angola. But they are there now. He's there as part of a 3-day trip. I said earlier, this is likely the president's last trip abroad. Talk to me about Angola and what he hopes to accomplish on this trip.
Yeah, absolutely. So President Biden is in Angola this week to underscore the enduring strength and importance of the U.S.-Angola bilateral relationship. Part of this relationship is making sure that we narrow the infrastructure gap in Africa and globally, as well as growing economic opportunities and sustainable development in the region. President Biden will be talking about expanding technological and scientific cooperation, bolstering peace and security, strengthening food security, and upholding democratic values. So throughout for the next couple days, he will be in Angola, stopping at multiple sites to highlight those priorities. Today, he actually met with Angolan President João Lourenço in Luanda at the presidential palace to discuss trade, investment, and infrastructure, security and stability, and deepening the ties between America and Angola. On top of that, tomorrow, he will also be going to the former slave port of Libido in Angola for a summit on infrastructure investment in the region with leaders from Angola, the DRC, Tanzania, and Zambia. On top of that, he will be reiterating America's support for Angola's bid to have the Kwanzaa Corridor, which is a route of more than 100 miles that captured slaves were marched along from the interior to the coast, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
That's a full agenda, as one would expect. When you travel that far, you might as well get some work done. So the president's going to be busy while he's in Angola. When we come forward, our remaining moments with the White House Director of Black Media on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. BenefitsCheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your flag. Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed for the next 3.5-4 minutes with the White House Director of Black Media, Roderica Applewhite, who I've been honored to have had on for these 30 minutes. So I got just a few minutes left. I want to get personal here. So tell me what you. We don't all get a chance to work in the White House. We don't all get a chance to be the White House Director of Black Media. It is an honor. I'm sure that you'll regard for the rest of your life. What have you enjoyed most about this opportunity?
Yeah, I think what I've enjoyed the most is because of the outlets I work with, because a lot of the outlets I work with don't have the same access to resources as more legacy media outlets. For a lot of the time when I bring an outlet to the White House, it's their first time there. And so being able to see the wonder of that from their eyes, from them to acknowledge, the painful history of the White House of being built by slaves and the full circle moment of, for some people, their ancestors building this building that they now get to cover as a reporter that is a respected member of the media by this White House. And so being able to be the person that facilitates those moments is something that I will be taking with me.
Yeah. Speaking of wonder, when you're in this building every day, just a quick story. So many people know that I did, as part of my career years ago, I mentioned earlier BET. I was on BET for 5 years. I never actually moved to Washington. I've always lived in LA, but I flew back and forth every week to do the show. I'd fly in on Sunday night or Monday morning and fly out on Friday. But I flew back and forth, and I enjoyed that. I didn't like all the travel, but I did that in part because I've always loved Washington, D.C. I love the monuments. I love the White House. And I find that when you live in D.C., you drive past the White House 18 times a day and never look up. You drive past the monuments, you never look up. So there's a way in which when you live in the nation's capital, where I'm being heard right now, and I'm sure people are laughing, and they driving by the White House right now listening to me laughing, because you drive by these things all the time, and they just become part of the background, right? So I raised that, and that's why I always enjoyed, even though I did BT for 5 years, I flew back and forth because I never wanted the splendor. I never wanted the wonder the joy of going to the nation's capital and looking around and seeing all this history. I'm a history student. I never wanted that to wear off for me. So when you're in the White House and you walking in and out of these doors and these offices and these rooms day in and day out, does the wonder wear off?
Well, I went to undergrad at George Washington University, which is just down the street as well. So, yes, these are buildings I've seen for a while. But, I think now, and especially now that our time at the administration is coming to a close, I'm really taking the time that I can to just, take those little mental pictures and remember where everything is and what everything looks like and how special it is as the daughter of immigrants, as a first-generation American, to be in this space and what that means for my ancestors. So it's something that I try to think about in the moments between meetings.
Yeah, in between meetings, yeah. And finally here, I suspect that being the White House Director of Black Media prepares you for any number of career choices when you leave the White House. Have you figured out what you're doing next?
I have not, but, if anyone is hiring who's listening, I'm happy to send my resume.
That's funny. She has a sense of humor, and you need that in the White House. You need a sense of humor when you work in the White House every day. Roderica Applewhite is her name. She has been and will be for a few more weeks the White House Director of Black Media. Thank you. Let me say very sincerely on behalf of all of us, and I'm fiating myself into the position of speaking for all Black media right now. Let me just say, having done this for quite a while, that it means something when you have an advocate inside the White House. And so I want to just thank you for your time there, for your service there on behalf of us, making it possible for us to have access to get the interviews we need, et cetera, et cetera. It's important work. And if nobody on the outside in my profession tells you how much we appreciate you being there as our conduit, you heard it from me. So thank you, and all the best to you in the future, whatever you do next.
Thank you, Tavis. I really appreciate it. Great to be on.
Great to be on. Thank you good to have you on, I should say. Thank you for your time. One more hour of Tavis Smiley when we come forward. Stay with us.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The U.S. is sending a $725 million weapons package to Ukraine, including missiles, ammo, and anti-personnel mines, according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. This comes as Russia targets Ukraine's energy grid and captures villages in the east. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating a Cybertruck crash in Piedmont, California, that killed 3 college students. The crash happened last Wednesday when the vehicle veered off the road. UNICEF's Light the World giving machines in Times Square let people donate to various causes, offering items like winter boots, children's books, and polio vaccines. Gifts range from $5 to $3,500, with all proceeds going to chosen charities. And rapper Eminem's mother, Debbie Nelson, has passed away following a battle with cancer. TMZ reports she died last night at a hospital in St. Joseph, Missouri. She was 69 years old. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
It's Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale. Get matched with your perfect bed and save up to $700 on a wide selection of quality mattresses. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. See store for details.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
21 games into the NBA season, is it possible that Father Time is tapping LeBron James on his shoulder? Over the past 4 games, LeBron looks like a player approaching his 40th birthday. LeBron, who turns 40 on December 30th, made only 4 of 16 shots Monday night in the Lakers' 29-point blowout loss at Minnesota. It's the 6th straight game LeBron has shot below 45. He's played in all 21 games this season. He looks like he could use a night off. The Lakers